who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, bingo on 'em, never stop it, to the beast of Eastern know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring, Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world.
What's up, everybody? This is Ted Karras with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
Bengals and Brews.
Yep, that's us. We're still here.
Yep.
It's about negative 20 degrees in my garage. Probably feels about as
76 in the basement.
Yeah, probably feels about as warm as it did for you yesterday at the game.
Bro, yesterday at the game, my socks didn't work. I went to dial them up on my phone, and it was like one of them was disconnected, so it wouldn't even heat the other one. It was like 2 feet or no feet are going to be warm. So we did. Listen, this is how miserable it was. So we decided to leave after about after the third quarter, right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Like, fuck this, we're leaving. Fine. So we're walking out to the truck, walking out to Big Fancy, and John says to me, "What are we doing about Santori?" And I said, "Oh shit, that's right, Santori." So we had to go sit in the fucking truck until the game was over. But at least we were warm listening to that bullshit.
I'm telling you, those little like hand warmer, feet warmers things, it doesn't work in certain levels of cold because once the cold gets into your bones, you're screwed. Like nothing those machines can do.
Bro, that cold was in every bone. Every bone.
Well, the hot topic here, the Bengals did not clean off the seats. Was your seat cleaned off when you got there, Chop? No.
Nope. I cleaned off my seat, and I cleaned off seat for one of my kids went with her boyfriend, and I cleaned up their seats too. And it wasn't even like regular snow. Like it was like ice. Like you need an ice scraper on your fucking seat. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And that's pathetic, right?
It is.
And where was the ushers to help you? I don't remember, like, the 2 games I went to this year. I don't remember seeing that many ushers compared to what there used to be even.
I don't really notice a whole lot of ushers. And I didn't, I saw the news after that. I was, like, watching the news last night, and they were talking about how the Hamilton County Commissioner or something, like, dog got the Bengals on social media because, they need to do better. And they do. I don't know how they would have done it, to be honest, though. To be 100% honest, I really, literally can't see any team in the NFL. The snow, yes, but that ice, around, ice scraping every fucking seat in there.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was going to say the ice part of it just, like, makes it
happen.
Yeah, you'd have to have all your seats, like, heated and turned on, like, hours before.
I mean, honestly, could have went through there with a snowblower, not a snowblower, but like a leaf blower or whatever, and blew off the snow. But then you would have that ice left, and people would have bitched about that. To be honest, not taking up for the Bengals because fuck them after all this bullshit this year. But the ice wouldn't have came off anyway.
Well, I know a lot of people too. Some people try to bring in like cardboard for their feet to just put down, and they wouldn't let them bring that in.
What?
Yeah,
there was a lady at the end
I see multiple people say that.
Lady at the end of my row had cardboard, like some kind of get up where she like folded it up and sat in it in her seat and then had it under her feet.
Man, she must have been sneaky with it, You got to smuggle in your cardboard apparently, because I know people. There was multiple people that said that they weren't allowed to bring it in.
How's that? Because people have signs in there. What the fuck do they make them signs out of?
I don't know, brother.
I don't know.
The organization was just as interested as the players on the field.
Yes.
Offensively, defensively.
That first drive, man, I thought we were doing good that first drive. And then Joe Burrow, for some reason, runs backward about 15 yards and gets sacked, takes us out of field goal range. And then it was just from there.
It was very, like we possessed the ball for so many more plays than the Ravens. Everything was so slow and methodical.
Intentionally.
I don't even think it was a Zach thing. It was like Burrow was checking out of every single play. And we can get into like that side because I have some thoughts on that. But it was just like, man, get up to the line and move a little bit faster. Like have a little urgency. And when I kind of saw on that first drive, even though we were methodically going down, the field, it just something still felt off. Like the energy of the team, the way that they were moving. Yeah, it just didn't look crisp either. I don't know. Just you could tell from that point forward, like something was off big time.
I agree with Ryan. I don't.
Yeah, they're probably not going to move on from anybody.
No.
Yeah. Greg said he's not feeling well. I mean, he was down there at the tailgate, set up super early, had to go into work the night before. Can't really blame Greg for not being here today, not feeling well.
Right. It was a good tailgate. A lot of people showed up, but not a lot of people were in that parking lot anyway. When I went out to the car, just like always, it was kind of full. Afterward, people showed up at the last minute, but it was a pretty tailgate. We had some really good food. We had some really good beer. People show up. We had a lot of fun. We went across the thing. Bengal bombs at the Bengal Bomb Squad tailgate were Bengal slushies. By the time by the time they got them all poured, they were frozen. I had to sit there and keep mixing it up so it wouldn't freeze before we would take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I also seen, besides the snow removal, I seen that people couldn't get in the gates. Andrew Fox Miller posted, it was packed outside the gates with 3 minutes till kickoff. So it looked pretty empty when the game started in there. I mean, I think more people ended up showing up, but a lot of them couldn't get in the gates. I don't know what was going on, what happened there, but it was packed outside the stadium trying to get in. So
you know what?
just all kinds of fuckery was going on, in general. And then the performance on the field, 24-0 lost. I mean, just like others have said, it looked like they didn't want to be there.
Offensively.
And then I left, but I heard that Zach Taylor chose to not have any points, chose for a shutout because some last play, they were in field goal range. They could have got 3 points or something like that, but he went for it and it was 4th and inches. It was after the Drew Sample, your favorite player, right? It was after his catch.
They were just trying to run clock. Most of that was short game. Cody Ford in there who couldn't block anything. Man, when he had to come in for Mims, it was atrocious. Mims got hurt.
Oh man, I missed that part.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, he played 11 snaps, and every one of them he was giving up a pressure, even if the ball was coming out in 2 seconds. It was bad, which shows their need for still a swing tackle at minimum. And I would have liked to seen Rivers come in than Ford. I mean, what's the point? What more do we need to see from Cody Ford? He's not a part of the future in any way, shape, or form.
Especially at this time of the year with and we're out of the playoffs. Just put Rivers in there and let's just run him till the end of the season and see what he's got.
Yeah. KP with the super chat says mock draft time again. Give him the Trump, aka you're fired. You're fired.
I like you're fired, but I also like you're fired. The Vince McMahon.
Yeah, the Vince McMahon.
I'm calling it the Antoine Powell Rowland season. Let's get him out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see some of that dude. Shout out to Miles Murphy yesterday. He continues his ascent. So Turner,
Demetrius Knight had a good game as well.
Yeah, battle. So here's the funny thing about this, guys. If you do remove, and this just goes into the inconsistencies of the team, and why I think it's not good to just think we're okay on offense, even going in the off season. I want to attack the draft and free agency and or attract defense in free agency in the draft, but you can't just sit on your hands on offense too. You got to be adding guys. One thing I noticed yesterday is we're pretty slow, on offense. You know what I mean? Not guys outside of Chase getting separation, so we need help there. And I know that Dale, you had posted something about Anderson. We need a slot gimmick guy, get some separation. That's a need for sure. A third receiver because
that can also be a return man. I mean, definitely Yoshi. I mean, you don't even is he out there? It feels like, and he's playing 80-90+% of the snaps every single week.
Yeah,
and you're getting minimal to zero impact from this guy, even when Higgins is out. And it's just you got to do better there. You got to improve there. I mean, Charlie Jones ended up going out hurt, but the first couple returns he had, it looked like his feet was in stone. I mean, this guy looked slow as could be. There's no juice as a returner. And, with these new kickoff rules, you can you see guys, and against us, it happens a lot, starting at the 40-yard line on every possession almost, guys that just have some speed to hit it quick because they can't start until you touch the ball. So I think that could definitely be improved.
What I was going to say is, like, if you remove the Bears game and the Jets game, like our defense played winning ball yesterday, 17 points given up.
Yeah.
Now you look at Buffalo, like if we get a couple of those fourth down stops, and you see Buffalo shredded the Patriots yesterday, makes you feel, I guess, a little bit better about that. Josh Allen's just balling this year again. And the week before against the Ravens, that created some turnovers. So there has been improvements on defense, and that's what we should be actually talking about today is the defense played good. I think it was going to be a grinded out kind of game because of the weather anyways for our offense, but we had some open guys. Burrow just didn't hit them, right? And we didn't capitalize on the red zone. That's a different game. And probably today we're talking about, okay, Demetrius Knight played well, Murphy, Battle, some positive things. And then unfortunately it's just I'm sure we'll get into this, the mindset of Burrow going into the week, just a lot yesterday that just completely lacked energy on offense. And it was just one of the worst games of his career. And just from just the most basic level, taking a sack like that is a rookie mistake,
Yeah.
Hell, that might be a college mistake. Hell, that might be a high school mistake. Can't have it, just a bad performance from him. So I don't know. It's just
and early, I mean, Chase had some drops. You could say maybe the one I thought he mistimed his jump maybe more once I watched it again. Mistimed his jump on that one that led to the interception off his hands. Because at first I'm like, it seems like the ball is a little high, but he still got his hands on it. But I think maybe he mistimed his jump there, and that was the biggest reason that was incomplete. I don't think that was a terrible ball, but when you drove down there early and you got 0 points on the board, you had the turnovers. Chase and Burrow just looked off. I know what Chase ended up with, almost 150 receiving yards or whatever. But early in that game, when they really could, the defense got 3 straight stops to open the game on their end. We were unable to get points, and Burrow and Chase just looked off during that time. And then it was honestly, once we were down, it's it's over. You go down 7, you feel it's probably over already. 14, you're definitely done. It just that felt like there was no juice from the offense. There was no big plays to be had. There was no spark. Burrow, I mean, seemed almost uninterested, or just and I do think, it's fair to say about whatever his mindset is, it's not good. And I'm sure that seeped into this game.
And the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
When your number one guy's up there doing a press conference where it sounds like he fucking his dog got killed or something on the way to work, it's not going to affect the team, right? Santori brought that up yesterday, and I thought that's a good point. Your leader is man, if we're not having fun, that's not going to energize the rest of the team to go out there and play real hard.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, one of the things that going into this game, I had my concerns about. This is not a good, it got spun in a different way amongst the national narrative in the talking heads, more of a Burrow versus the Bengals kind of thing. And it was more something that he needs to work on internally. Now, obviously, you hope he's okay in his personal life and all that good stuff. But it's when you're the leader of the team, you can show frustration and be upset. They're humans. We're not asking them to be perfect, but that seeped into the offense. That probably seeped into the offensive linemen. Because I don't I feel like he had ample time yesterday, and his pocket presence wasn't great, but they didn't play their best game either. But yeah, man, it's something tied to that, and I know he addressed the team after the game too. So we'll see where it goes with that.
I want
moving forward.
Zach Taylor was in that address of the team, or was just the players?
I don't know. I think he probably just I would imagine something like that is him just kind of going up and speaking to people, maybe individually. I don't know exactly what the mechanics of the locker room look like if the coaches were out or something like that. But it sounded like he did address the team, so we'll see.
Yeah, well.
Do you guys want to hear a crazy stat though?
I want to hear a crazy stat, Dustin. Go ahead.
So Dale, you might have heard this on the broadcast because I was watching on the flight back. I was watching the replay. I forget. Somebody can correct me in the chat that it said that the percentage of time that Burrow and Chase and Higgins have been on the field together is like 30 to 40% of the time. So that's not great. That's your highest paid players, and then Dan Orlovsky posted this today. So Burrow targeting Jabbar this season. He's 58% completion, 20% off target, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, a 52.3 QBR. So them two have just not been successful connecting this entire year either.
Yeah,
just bad. It's very surprising.
Yeah. It was like 35 plus. It was somewhere between 30 and 40. Nostradamus, I believe. And a lot of that, obviously, Joe missed a huge chunk of time.
For sure.
When Higgins and Chase would have been out there, but now Higgins dealing with the concussion stuff. Jamar suspended a game. Yeah, it all adds up to where those guys just aren't on the field, and you're paying them a lot of money. But I still go back to even paying them all the money. Like over the cap guy said today, we're projected to have $59 million in cap space this coming season. We also had 20-some million last year, and you also can structure contracts. I'm just frustrated with the organization always cutting corners every way they can. And that frustration, like I know Zach Moss probably has his own stuff, but I'm sure everybody's seen that on Twitter. Former player who's just here a year ago got cut right before camp this year, saying the worst run franchise in sports. And trying to get him on the show. We'll see if it works out or not. I mean, he's got to see what he can say and not say, and there's other stuff there. But I'm always open to having people on, letting them have a conversation about what happened there, because he had the neck injury, different stuff. But if that's the thoughts of other players around the league, that also hurts when you're even if you're offering comparable money to another team, and it's like you have this reputation, right, wrong, whatever. And if that reputation's out there, that could turn off potential players from wanting to come here in free agency, even offering similar money.
Yeah.
So, especially on the defensive side of the ball, when your defense is just like known as a laughing stock. So I think people, and we can all say Burrow had an awful game yesterday. I think that's just the facts. But people are still going to want to come here and play with Joe Burrow on offense and things like that. So. But we need defensive free agents, and it's like, when it's already that, and then you hear about the organization, it's just one of those things, and we don't know. I would love for him to be able to come on here and give us his thoughts on it. I mean, we do know that, like, the grades from the players, they've been getting an F for treatment of families and stuff like that. Yeah. And we've seen where families had to stand outside waiting on them. Maybe they fixed that this year, but I know in the past that was like, you should not have families standing out in the cold waiting on you after the game. Like, that's insanity to me.
Yeah. I mean, and the operational side should be something that's kind of clockwork. I mean, you just kind of go, you don't even really have that many games that you got to prepare for, right? So that's something that they should have, everything kind of locked up. I mean, it's anytime you hear any player have like those types of opinions, it's very disappointing. It can be a mixed bag, because I know like Flacco gave an interview this year, was just talking about like this is one of the better locker rooms he's been in. So it's kind of all over the place with that, but it's always good to have different perspectives. Everybody's journey's different. I know like Chad comes back a lot and stuff like that, but there's just so many things that the Bengals need to do operationally better. Like that should be at the very minimum what they should be able to provide an experience for the players and their families. Like, you got to take care of that. And then that's even to say, like, operationally speaking, like the front office, like what kind of changes? Because I mean, expecting firings and stuff like that, I've already like tossed that to the side. I doubt that's going to happen, but like, what do they do operationally? And I think it's a fair question when Duke gives his press conference at the combine this year. Like, I would love for one of the reporters to ask, like, hey, can we talk to you guys during the season? Like, provide a little more transparency, or at the very minimum, like, hop on the Laugh 'Em podcast, like, get up on that. Like he has the In the Trenches podcast. Like, you can feel a little more comfortable because
they have a team podcast with Dan Horde and Lapham, that they do like twice a week at least.
Yeah. It's a perfect opportunity. Like you could probably win some people over. Like explain your thinking, explain why you went into the season and didn't do the things that you did. Maybe we would understand a little bit more. That's all we're really asking for. We don't, again, expect you to be perfect. But man, in the age of transparency and have all the information that we have on the internet, like they have to like get other voices going throughout the season rather than Zach or whoever the head coach is going to be to answer all those,
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, do we expect changes? No. Is it still fair for us to talk about it and what we think? I look at our record, and a lot of times your record speaks for itself on how good or bad or close or not. And yes, winning cures everything. Brooke, that I seen you in there saying that. I understand that. But these are also issues, even when we were winning, that we've talked about over and over a lot too, with the organizational stuff, with the Duke Tobins and with the draft misses and the stuff that could set us, okay, you make the playoffs. Well, it's 3 straight years of not making the playoffs. But when you're making the playoffs, cool. But what are you doing to be a Super Bowl winner if you're in the playoffs? What are you doing to take that next step? And we think that they don't ever do enough in that regard. Like, oh, we made it there. That's good enough one time. Now we can go back to just whatever. We're not going to really make that push, and I would love for them to make that push. And you can do it by structuring contracts, but I think you need to expand your scouting department. And you could say, oh, more voices might muddle things. Okay, whatever. Let's muddle things then a little bit, because what we're doing isn't working. We're taking Jackson Carman, Samar Stewart in the first, and Stewart could still pan out, but there was no world where you thought that was an instant impact guy, even if he was healthy this year. That's just not who he was in college. He's not going to give you all this production. I'm frustrated. Obviously, I think a lot of people are frustrated. I don't know if they'll make changes, but you're 4-10. Zach's got to go, in my opinion. Like, you can say this ain't all on Zach. The offense has been good, but when you're 4-10 and you lose 24-0 at home in a must-win game to keep any sliver of your playoff hopes alive, I think that speaks for itself. You know what I mean? And yes, there are some decent performances from the defense, different things, but it felt like a team that wasn't ready to go out there and win a game of football yesterday, clearly. And that falls back on a head coach in that moment. And to me, that has to be one of the – I mean, there's been other games and other things, but this one, to me, has to be the final straw, and it probably won't be because he's got 1 year on his contract. Coaches are making a bunch of money. He ain't making near the money that other coaches are making and these new hires are making. But I just think any halfway normal franchise would fire Zach Taylor, period.
Yeah.
And that probably means Al Golden and everyone else goes along with him, because that coach should be able to hire their own staff. Right. There shouldn't be any holdovers in that scenario. Clearly, like, fire Duke Tobin is a Chop Shop t-shirt you guys can get at the Chop Shop 513. That is the picture on this show for today. They need to hire a real GM. Like, those are the organizational changes that they need. They need a real GM. They need to literally get out of their own way. Get out of their own way. And you know what? When you got Elizabeth Blackburn sitting up there laughing when you're losing 24-0 at the stadium, because that's what I heard. That's the rumor I heard. Yeah. She's up there laughing, just having a great time. I mean, kudos for her for being out in the weather, but, you know, it's just, we feel like that the ownership don't care. I don't think they do. They're still cashing their checks, making their money. They want to win on their terms. They may want to win, but on their terms. I mean, enough's enough, man. Like, when are you going to actually get out of your own way, hire a GM, and just try, like, make an effort? Burrow's 29, and you're going to have to reset completely and pray that you get a decent quarterback, number 1 overall again, that can just carry you to a Super Bowl. I don't know, man. I'm frustrated. I just venting that, but that's just my thoughts.
It's all we do is vent, man. It's as Bengals fans, it's reset for next year, and I fell in the trap again because, I mean, what the fuck else am I going to do? I got all this Bengals shit, man. I've been, I'm a Bengals.
I'm not giving up. Like, yeah.
And so once again, here the fuck we are, man. Reset for next year. It's not going to be the playoffs. Unlike the 90s, we got a fucking shot every year. We got a shot. We got Joe Burrow. We got Jamar Chase. We got T. Higgins. We got a shot every fucking year. Not like the 90s where we just went and played the games. You know what I'm saying? We got a legit.
You got a shot 35%. We got a shot 35% of the time.
35% of the time, but like
35%, 100% of the time we can get this.
So I feel like it just feels different. When we were there yesterday, my daughter Madison was like, man, talking about how many people weren't there. And I said, this is what it was like in the 90s when we were playing the best games. I said, this is what the stadium looked like.
Yeah. That's why I'm hoping for more of just like a pure coaching change, because like to me, that's the quickest path to success, because I don't even trust them to know how to restructure the front office. I'll being honest with you. So I think like we could talk like we're draft guys, we're studying players. I'm studying players. I mean, Dale's all over it. Chop too. But we need a mentality shift at this entire organization, right? Like, that's where it's like I feel like having a very strong coach come in, that carries some weight, like that can inspire change across the entire organization, right? Like, I think like although like you have Burrow, and a generational quarterback, that can only go so far. Like a coach coming in here with that strong voice, like we can name names. I think that can go probably further in the reach within the organization, if I'm being honest with you.
They need somebody with some fire and passion, and in my opinion.
Because I think what we're missing most from this organization right now is energy. There's like no energy from anybody coming from any place. There's nobody that's inspirational, inspiring, like change, anything like that. A fresh voice would help with that, and somebody that's really like vigilant and strong in their opinions and coming in like, hey, maybe it only lasts for 5 years because they're tough to deal with.
Or three, whatever. Yeah, it's time to flip the page. And I think the quickest path to be able to make changes through a coaching change, because again, I think going through this whole like firing to Duke Tobin, love the shirt shop. No offense to you, but it's like I just don't think it will happen. And B, I just don't think they know. Like, I just don't expect them to be able to structure the organization in a way fast enough to make an impact right away, where I think a coach can. I mean, look what Vrabel has done with the Patriots. You know how bad they were last year? Like, and he came in and immediately, what they do, open the pocketbooks. And the Patriots were never a team, for the most part, maybe towards the end of Belichick, that went crazy in free agency. If you look during Tom Brady's tenure, they were actually a lot like the Bengals. They held a lot of money back. They didn't invest in free agents, anything like that. So he came in and he got to get changed, and look at the results so far. So and he's also like a no nonsense, like hard ass kind of dude. And we were like, our ownership wouldn't like that when we were having this conversation last year, about specifically Mike Vrabel. And I know Brian Flores, whatever. Not everybody loves him. Minnesota D coordinator, didn't end well in Miami or whatever, but he seems like a no-nonsense, hard-nosed dude, and I think that can galvanize the locker room. We talked about the other day Marcus Freeman. He's getting from Notre Dame. I know we got some Notre Dame fans on here. We're not trying to just take your coach away.
Yeah.
I also said we wouldn't take Al Golden. We did, but that's mixed results at best so far. But with Freeman, if he's a leader of man, I don't know. Maybe. People have said John Gruden. I don't know. Maybe he's passionate. I'll say that about John Gruden.
He's passionate.
Yeah. He's probably going to say how he feels if he's here.
Anything about wanting to go back into coaching?
I think he would love to be back into coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something.
I'm sure there's several other guys. Vance Joseph, that seems more like a Bengals hire because he's been here.
And just bring that up is that I saw someone had pointed the finger towards Vance Joseph, and out of all the names I've seen, seems like the most Bengal pick for me because he was already here. You know, they're familiar with him, so that's definitely a Bengal hire. I just don't know when you say strong voice, that ain't the guy, is it, Dale?
Yeah. I don't know the man, but it doesn't scream that to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? More like a guy that might fall back in line with the family. That's why they bring him in.
Yeah.
And I think we need somebody that challenges the family.
Yeah.
And family being Duke Tobin too.
Yeah.
Because you might as well count him at this point.
That's why you need to do two. You need to do a twofer. You need to like get rid of Zach and get rid of Duke Tobin. And then because like to your point, Dustin, if you just hire a new coach who's got fire, who puts up against the front office and stuff like that. But at the same time, still like Joe Goodberry said, someone that comes in here, you're coaching with an arm tied behind your back because the front office. If the highest head you can hit in the front office is Duke Tobin, I say that you hit that one because the family's not getting rid of themselves. So you're bringing a new coach in. You need something to change in this front office to even give them a chance. And this shit with Duke Tobin's not working. I don't know how many years he's been in this de facto GM position, but it's not working. The only time
he's been here since 1999, and he's had a voice pretty much since.
The only time it worked is when we got the number 1 overall pick and we got Joe Burrow, and then the next year Joe Burrow told you to go get his buddy, Jamar Chase.
Well, it worked when you got Carson Palmer, number 1 pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you get a few years of success.
But that one wasn't Duke Tobin, was it? Carson Palmer?
I mean, it's just like it was a no-brainer to pick Carson Palmer, you know.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Right.
But it came like right after Marvin had been here for like a year or so, or might have been his first year. One or the other. Either way, it's like I don't know. I do think the quickest thing, because we can say if Duke's part of the family, it's like saying, well, let's get rid of the family. Well, they own the team. But I mean, to Dustin's point, the change that can be made would be head coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's probably time. 3 years of not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's you can say Burrow's out, blah, blah, blah. Burrow's back. You're still losing. But when Flacco was here, the offense was fine. But you are the head coach. You are responsible ultimately for your entire team.
Yep. Yeah. And to me, that's what I'm like. To me, this has been a failure of coaching this year. Like, it really has been. Inconsistencies. Yeah, you lost Burrow for a little bit. But, to me, what screams like a bad and a failure of coaching is inconsistent play. Not complimentary football at all. Those types of things. Because Duke might come back to you and be like, look at my 2023 draft. I got you Chase Brown, I got you DJ Turner. He's gonna fight for his job. I found you Dylan Fairchild. I rebuilt your line, those sort of things. I just kind of think yes, obviously I want restructuring the front office. I just think that's a bigger, longer haul to getting to a quicker success that we have with Burrow. So out on Zach. It's not even crazy. And I was somebody that was lenient with him, after the performance this season. And of the coaches, I think they're hard workers. I think they're knowledgeable guys. I feel like they'll be okay in the league, or Al Golden might go back to Notre Dame. But it's those guys will be okay. I just don't think they're the right fit for the right time now. I think we need to turn the page. We are that young upstart team back in 21 when we went to the Super Bowl. We were just kind of the new kids on the block. Now it's time to have somebody come in with a lot more structure and stronger voice, and I think that's what's needed now.
Yeah, Fairchild did have a rough go yesterday, but honestly, he's been really good, especially for a rookie offensive guard. Those guys are not typically expected to. I didn't think the line played great. I know some of the sacks and stuff are on Burrow, but that was definitely. I mean, the line was really trending up for most of the season. So I thought they definitely took a step back. And if you lose Mims, if I haven't heard any more on that injury, but that'll hurt,
Yeah, they had a good plan. They did some simulated blitzes yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest game for the O-line. Another interesting stat, though, in Burrow's return, how our running game EPA has dropped significantly. So it just seems like the offense becomes very it becomes more powerful and more prone to you can get bigger plays, but it also we had very little motion yesterday. Everything was so stagnant. It was the play clock's going down to 5 because we're audibling out of another play. It's the offense slows down so much. And I think like the high end of that's great because like you can get you into yourself into the right play against the look, and it allows like Burrow to kind of decipher everything. But maybe like we need to start to change that approach too, because I felt like even when we were moving the ball yesterday, we had no rhythm behind it either.
No,
I kind of feel like everything's hard. So
No, I agree with that. It just felt off. It felt off offensively all day. And I know Burrow changes a lot, but it did seem like the plan was to be more slow paced and try to grind things out.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was part of the plan. There was no urgency.
Sure.
And then when you're down 3 scores, there was still no urgency. And that was like, okay, this is not good.
yeah, it's kind of like they waved the white flag, being down 17-0. It was like one of those things where it's like, well, maybe they're probably seeing what we're seeing at this point. Like, it's just not there. Let's just, keep ourselves protected. I don't know. Like, let's not like the last drive, obviously, we were just running the ball. We were just kind of milking the clock at that point. But
yeah, and they asked him, like, why didn't you bring in Flacco? And he was like, well, it was cold. He didn't have time to warm up. If it was a warmer game, we would have brought in Flacco. And it's like, that all sounds really like that. Just sounds dumb. I don't care. You put Flacco in, you put Jake Browning in. You're like,
let me tell you something. I was watching yesterday after halftime when they came out and they were warming up, Joe Flacco and Joe Burrow. And I'm not dogging Joe Burrow. I'm just saying there was a difference. Like Joe Burrow looked cold, and it was cold, but Joe Flacco didn't even look cold. Like he would get the ball, and like when Joe would get it, he'd do every time he'd do his 3-step drop. Toss the ball, blowing his hands. Joe Flacco was just like hanging out, like, what's up? Oh, got the ball. Bro, I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like the dude didn't even look cold.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Burrow is blowing on his hands. So I could just see in his eyes. He's like, I don't know.
The whole team, Justin, the whole team. Like you can't see. Like I saw the whole thing. Like when they come out of the tunnel, it literally just looked like a team that was like, fuck, we got to play in this weather.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like to me. It was like, fuck.
And see, that goes right into like you can't have your team like that.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah.
Like that.
They all like walked out. Teddy K ran out of the tunnel, ran up to the sideline, when they came out or first or whatever. But it was just like, it just seemed like they were upset that they had to play in that weather.
Well, Draymond Jones said he could tell early. And like you said, we moved the ball down the field a little bit early and stuff. But when the opponent is like, they don't want to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want to be out here in this.
Yeah.
Like and they talked about it in like they were like, yeah, Burrow said he loves playing in the cold weather and it's a mental thing and blah blah blah. And it's like, well, his mentals was not right for this game.
Right. He did not look like he liked playing in the cold weather.
Not
I think
yesterday.
I think that's bullshit. Like nobody likes playing in cold weather.
Hell no.
Yeah,
if you're like, hey, would you like to go play in sub-zero weather or maybe 70 degrees? Joe Burrow would be like, I want to take that sub-zero. I really like the cold weather.
Yeah. So like that's kind of like one of those things that you just kind of say, and maybe like his December record,
not
or
only
whatever.
That, if your hands are cold, man. Like I know Jamar Chase had some drops, but like if your hands are cold and you can't feel them or something, that makes it tough. Like I don't put those drops on Jamar Chase as much, and that's because of the weather. It's hard to keep your hands warm, when the temperature is below zero.
Can I also say something to Ravens fans? You guys still ain't shit. You're not that good.
No offense, but they did not play very well yesterday either. They just we played worse.
Yeah, they're not that good.
Yeah, the whole goddamn division, sorry about your luck, Tyler Kelly, is actually shit this year.
Well, the whole NFL, it's been such a weird season. I posted like, oh, you got to be sick when your team sucks so bad to take joy out of the Chiefs not making the playoffs. And I posted that monkey with the thing on, like, that's me. Like, oh, I'm a sick motherfucker. I got
the joy down in my heart.
And I'm not celebrating Mahomes getting hurt.
No.
It's not that. Like, this was like, we knew if they lost, they were out of the playoffs. Like, it had nothing to do with him getting hurt.
I wish he was totally healthy when they got
yeah.
fucking marked out of the playoffs. That'd make it even better. They took some of my joy when he got hurt.
Hey, and that's a credit to having a really good team that's made an incredible run for us. And not just Bengals fans, as a teams around the league to be like, oh, the Chiefs are out of it. Woohoo! Like that just means you guys have been winning so long. You know, I mean, so fuck you. I'm glad you're out of the playoffs.
Fuck you, Chiefs.
I get joy out of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I'll get joy out of it too when Tyler Kelly's fucking piece of shit Pittsburgh Steelers are eliminated out of the playoffs too.
Well, they got to win tonight now because they got the Ravens right behind them. Still got to play them the last game. So we're saying the Ravens aren't good, but I don't have any faith in that Steelers team either. Miami's been playing decent football. They're trying to get back to 500, I believe, tonight.
This guy doesn't come on here and talk about how they got the Tomlin curse. Fuck, the comments were going too fast and I missed it. But Tyler Kelly talking about they got the Tomlin curse. Now, this motherfucker, not a year ago, probably or two, was telling me how Tomlin was such a good coach. And I said, quarterback purgatory, man. Tomlin ain't done shit. He took Bill Cowher's team to the Super Bowl and won. And then since then, shit. Now he's like wanting to give us Tomlin. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Well, you're going to be rooting for his Steelers tonight because so I went 10-4 so far on the week. You went 9-5, so I actually gained a game back on you. You were within 2.
I know.
Greg and Dustin went 8-6, so I'm 89-48, and you're 86-51, and you did pick Pittsburgh, so you can get that game back. And basically went even for this week. If Pittsburgh
all right.
wins.
Well, then, yeah, Tyler Kelly, I'm rooting with you, buddy. Go Pack or no? Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. I had to remember their chant. That's it. And
but if the Steelers win, you lose $100. Well, I mean, I think we're 4-10. Like, I think you're already going to win that one.
I'd rather have your record beat me then.
Well, no, that Bo Nix knows how to play.
I already lost it though because it's on the record. So,
yeah.
Now that Bo Nix knows how to play quarterback, is anybody beating Denver in the AFC?
You got to bring up Bo Nix too because that's Tyler Kelly's quarterback from that draft.
And I've been a big hater on him, but like I said to you, Dustin, yesterday, he made some really good throws. The throws to Sutton, one for a touchdown and one for a 4th down conversion, were just great throws. So I still don't know if I believe in them, but the thing is, I don't believe in anybody.
No, I don't
either division. It's weird. Like somebody's got to make it.
Right.
That's the thing with like where the Patriots exposed a little bit yesterday because they had beaten a lot of bad teams, you know, when you stack up, but then it's like Buffalo, you know, their defense got some stops the second half for sure, but like, do you trust that defense?
No.
Like, if you look at it, like, I don't trust Bo Nix, but I probably trust, like, and that's the thing, like, you know, we invested so much money into our offense. Come to find out, like, you probably will get to the Super Bowl, and it's probably going to be the Eagles and Broncos with the best 2 defenses because, like, I would originally said the Rams, but, like, watching the Rams and actually seeing their performance, they can't cover anybody in the secondary. Jared Verse has been kind of a no-show this year. Like, he's kind of fallen off, and that whole D-line can't stop anybody either. It's like, I don't know. It's like, and the Eagles have been playing bad, but all of a sudden, like, a defense in the playoffs just can carry you for so long. It's something that, like, that's where I hate this whole, like, notion going into every season. We're like, oh, we just need the defense to be average. Like, hell no. We need the defense to be top 10. You know what I mean? We need defense to, like, shut people down because in the playoffs, it's harder to move the ball because you are playing better defenses. So, okay,
I go back to Houston, and it is for that reason. It's their defense. Yeah. Like, that's a team that I think can make real noise. Like, I really do. And, you know, you can say what you want about Stroud. I think he's okay. They're going to need him to play well in the playoffs to win. But, I mean, they can lean on their defense. He doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah. But I like the guys they got out of Iowa State at receiver. And, you know, they've invested in weapons around him. Mm-hmm. And then if they can get enough from their run game, like, they could make a legitimate run this year. I love their defense.
Because, you know, like, you've seen games before where, like, really high-powered offenses, they've started bad, and it starts to, like, deteriorate because they go against, like, a really good defense. Like, remember, like, the Patriots in the Super Bowl against the Giants? It was just, like, started bad, and it never got better. That's what I envision when teams have to play like the Texans. It's just, like, they shut you down. They got Stingley covering your best receiver. They got Will Anderson coming off the edge. Like it's just they got speed at linebacker, and it's like
They got this beast named Sheldon Rankins on the interior
Yeah,
defensive line. Like, I mean, that guy's good again when he plays there.
Yeah, he is.
yeah. He came here, got AIDS last year, and then kicked it. Went back to
Right.
I thought Seattle too, like against Indianapolis. Like, hey, credit Phillip Rivers for playing at
Oh,
44
yeah.
years old, and giving them a chance to win. But it's like, okay, Seattle, come on now. You know, if you want to be real legit contender, because I've said I don't trust Sam Darnold either, ultimately.
No.
And so Seattle kind of worried me, even though they pulled out the win there. San Francisco's starting to look decent. You know, they got the Rams there, all of that. And then like, also like the team that Denver beat, Green Bay. Jordan Love throws off that damn back foot way too much. Just way too much.
Yep. Yeah. Their offense is just like they've had a couple good weeks there. Then their offense just has been kind of dog shit this year for like what you expected. And they invested in receivers too, you know. And then like obviously you lost Micah Parsons, you know, to ACL. Like that just, you know, kind of like that's just this time of year too. That's very deflating for a team that, you know, obviously probably had Super Bowl aspirations. So yeah, it's just the NFC is going to be crazy to watch in the playoffs. I can't wait to watch it.
It all is. And like you were saying, and I agree, we don't trust Buffalo's defense. Doing the brick walls, huh?
I'm in the room with Dustin now.
Hell yeah, dude.
Man, I see you over there at your desk.
I don't want anything Bengals related behind me right now, to be honest, dude. Like, fuck them.
I look like I'm part of the wall, though. What the fuck, man? Just like a face in the wall.
All you are is a face in the wall.
I'm a talking wall.
Yeah. But Buffalo, though, still, I go back to them, though, and Crip loves that I talk about Buffalo. But if there is every year they're going to make a run and be at least in the Super Bowl, if not win it, it has to be this year, right?
Yeah.
With no Chiefs, with no Burrow, like no Mahomes, no Burrow. Like, and I know defenses can win it, but, you know, sometimes you play it indoors in some of these games, you know, when you get there, if you can get there. So I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. Josh Allen, his legacy, and I mean, he's got a baby on the way now. You know, he went ahead and put that seed up and said, "What in the hell is that, Chop?"
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah,
they did say, but somebody said, John Thornton, like 5 or 6 years ago, said he would see Mike Brown up in the gym pumping weights.
Yeah. Well, look, he takes that fucking shirt. You never see him without his shirt off.
Yeah.
I guess.
Homie, he's here for life, dog. Like he ain't go nowhere. You know.
Yeah. Well, he's here for life, and I don't know. He's got the best doctors in the world.
Bengals OBI here. Trevor was the new GM in 1999. At least part of the decision to turn down the Saints' mega offer for the number 3 overall pick, they took Achilles Smith. I mean, that's how he started his tenure, and it's not great. And yeah, Bosart's definitely gonna have you on. Guy, boots on the ground at the Senior Bowl. Always Brian Bosart, NFL Draft Countdown. Great,
man. I'm so ready for the draft in the offseason. Like, that's where my mind's at. Like,
I mean, we're eliminated from the playoffs, so now it's like you got to have that, right? And I was looking at free agents the other day, and while it's not a great class, there's always going to be some players that can upgrade the team. And I mean, man, just even Draymond Jones. I would love to have Draymond Jones here.
Yeah. I mean, you don't always need to hit home runs on defensive edge, like guys that are just going to get 12 sacks a year. Like that's just like very rare. Like you just need guys that get pressure, you know, can make plays every here or there. I mean, and that's like the thing we're looking at, the continuous ascension of like Miles Murphy, and those types of players. Like at least we're starting to see like some kind of life on defense in terms of like players that we can build around. So that's at least making me feel a little bit better for next year, you know.
Well, you had to get something from the edge because we don't know if Osai will be back. I still like to bring him back. I wouldn't say he's had his strongest 2 weeks. I know he was like stat-wise was okay last week, but I thought he didn't play as great as he had for about a month prior to that. Yeah. And then this week, I didn't see too much out of him, if I'm being honest. But Murphy, I thought, was fantastic. He did give up the touchdown with the contain, with the running back out of the backfield on a play there. And he owned up to it, and that's what you want to see. But, I mean, he's playing good football. But he was going up against a tight end a lot for some of those sacks and stuff. And listen, I'm on the Miles Murphy ascent train. I have been for a long time. You saw the flashes, and he keeps stacking. So I'm not trying to downplay it, the ascension overall. But I don't think I take ton from yesterday before I rewatch it. But solid, good. You'll take it. Get sacking Lamar as much as you did. I mean, a guy that's hard to get sacks on. Period. I thought Demetrius Knight had a couple sacks. Like, he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I won't say Barrett Carter showed up in a huge negative way, so I guess that's good for him for this week, because usually we're seeing him miss a lot of tackles. We're seeing all kinds of stuff. But he didn't flash. So, I mean, I get he did his job, I guess. One guy I can't wait to get rid of, Geno Stone. That deep touchdown pass they had that made it, 14-0 or whatever, 21-0, whatever it was.
Before the half.
Right before the half.
Just
you get the ball after half, and you can't give that up. At worst, you give up a field goal there, and he's constantly out of position. He's constantly takes a bad angle to the ball. This guy sucks. Okay, Geno Stone sucks, and if they bring him back, that is just complete malpractice of
his drop on that started to creep up. Just what are you doing, bro? It's you see you have Zay going down the sideline. At least you think you would see it. Who you creeping up on? A tight end coming underneath. That's not your job responsibility anyways. You got the deep half. It's cover too, So just the basic stuff with him, I think there is a world in which maybe some team knows how to utilize him, as a third safety or something, but I don't want to see him out there as a starter. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's got to be off this team. I mean, his contract's up. I'm not giving him another one. And he should have been off the team last year. He was awful last year. And I will say he's played probably better overall this year, but he sucks. He still sucks.
Probably replace him with that safety from Ohio State.
Caleb Downs. Yeah. There's a lot of safeties, Somebody else mentioned Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo, 6'3", 209. I mean, that kid's rangy, physical, knocks the ball out all the time. I love players that can do that. Kamari Ramsey, USC, maybe he's more of a slot.
Yeah, he
played a little more slot there, but I like him. There's just a bunch of guys, and there's going to be more that could declare that I have with 27 guys. So that's something I'm keeping an eye on right now. And then we got college football playoffs this week. Friday, we'll have Alabama at Oklahoma. So we'll probably talk about all that a little more on Friday's show too. Dive deeper into that, because what's the point of talking about the Bengals facing? Who do we even face? Miami next.
Miami.
They'll be excited to be a little warmer. They'll probably go all clubbing the night before.
That's what I was going to say.
There, hungover as fuck.
Listen, if I was a player on the Bengals, I'm going out and partying my ass off. I could give a shit.
Get drunk.
Yeah, I'm getting wasted. I'm going to Miami Beach. I know. The tough thing about NFL players, they get in the day before, which kind of sucks.
If I'm a Bengals player in Miami and it's Christmas time,
hookers and blow. Yeah, hookers and blow, save Christmas.
Club Mansion, Wet Willies, where they got the, all the margaritas that you can get just blacked out drunk in 2 hours or less. It's a good place to be. Been there. I actually went to a Dolphins game before down there. It was pretty cool.
So do you guys think that since we'll never have a good offense again, is it the curse of Jermaine Burton? Because we released Jermaine Burton, we don't score a single point. I'm just saying, maybe he was the glue to this whole thing offensively the whole time.
That's true. Well, you're right. We got rid of him, and boom, nothing, nada,
0 points,
zero, zilch.
Yeah, and then kind of Noah Fant's been kind of a no-show this year.
He got hurt too. Yeah. But he hasn't had the impact you were hoping.
Yeah. There's just so many things that went wrong that kind of got lost in the shuffle. I don't know, how, Burrow plays the whole year, how much 12 personnel that we're lining up with, It seems like like it was kind of interesting against Buffalo. We went under center more than I thought, and then this week we didn't barely go under center at all.
The whole game plan this week sucked.
Yeah.
Like, and they look, hey, part of it's on the players. They look like they did not want to be out there. We've already talked about that, but I don't know. It was just a weird game plan.
Yeah, it was because I thought we were like kind of running the ball okay to start with too. But it was just like our run game the last like 3 weeks, like we had that successful run. The last 3 weeks we dropped down to like towards the bottom of the league in EPA in the run game. So it's like that's taking a step back, and I don't know. There's just got to be things to examine with like how we build and structure this offense around Burrow. You know what I mean? Because like when I'm watching that game yesterday, it's still very much dictated of like what Burrow likes to do. He likes to have everything in front of him, no motion, let me decipher it. The problem with that is like if he's not seeing the field right, it just goes bad quickly. You know, there's like it's so much of a boom and bust with the way that he likes the offense to be structured. When we're running successful offense, like we're doing play action, we're hitting end arounds, we have play action, like moving the pocket and stuff like that. It's like we did none of that yesterday, and it's just like that's a function of like maybe a new coach has to dictate to Burrow, like, no, this is how you're going to have to play, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you got to put the foot down to protect him, but then also have the offense be more consistent, you know, because like, you know, when we went through that like 10-game win streak, and I think it was 2022, like there was a couple games where our offense like started off fast, like actually against the Patriots. Like I think it was like a 5-degree day. Burrow was dotting them up. Second half offense completely falls off a cliff. We win in Tampa, score a touchdown before halftime. But that offense was non-existent for a lot of that game. You know what I mean? So like even in our most explosive offense days, like we've had bits of like, and that's going to happen on offense, but just too much inconsistency the way that things are structured too. So yeah. So we got
definitely a lot of questions again this offseason. You know, what are they going to spend money? Is that going to be the coach? Will they ever hire more scouts? Probably won't be happy with a lot of the answers, but it's an annual thing. Just like another annual thing we have is Pork Chop reading Hookers and Blow Save Christmas at the holiday time. The award-winning book. It might not have won any awards, but hey,
with the Brew Crew
annual, yes,
yeah, it's the Brew Crew Award.
Yeah, the Brew Crew Award.
What's the closest show to Christmas?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to think of that. I mean, probably, you know, it's probably like next Monday.
Let me look at a calendar here. It is next Monday.
Yeah.
Be the
Hookers and Blows Save Christmas next Monday, or it's the day after Christmas on the 26th. That's up to you.
Well, we can't save Christmas the day after. We got to read Hookers and Blows Save Christmas. Next Monday. Next Monday, be here for the annual reading of Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. Here is the book. Chop will show you again. He's got it ready. It's right there beside him. He's ready to read it. Great annual tradition here on Bengals and Brews.
That's right.
Yeah. I love it. It's Christmas.
Hey, look, what season. Christmas can't be saved by Hookers and Blow? Looking forward.
I think Hookers and Blow could always save Christmas, and we're gonna find out.
We have some Hookers and Blow right now.
We'll find out this weekend. You know, like how much of that nostril gospel does our team like to do on the road? Like I kind of want them to do that, to be honest. Like,
please,
I need some fire out there. I need coked out Ryan Day for the rest of the playoffs, and I need coked out Bengals. Damn it.
So any thoughts on this? Because it's been floated a little bit. We'll kind of end with this one because we're about an hour in. So like Jeremiah Love, like Nostradamus is talking about, you know, he thinks Brown's a guy, but maybe not the guy at running back. And Jeremiah Love is a really good player. I don't think personally I'm investing, especially top 10 if we're still in the top 10.
Right.
On a running back. I just can't do it. I do love Jeremiah Love, though. I love Love. But that's my opinion. Do you guys have an opinion? Would you be wanting Jeremiah Love? I just think we got too many other needs that we need.
I mean, it's hard to say this after yesterday with 0 points, but we have an offense. I'm not saying stay complacent and not upgrade, but I mean, come on. If we're looking at both sides of the team, the needs on the other side are super big. And if we got a top 10 pick, we can get a 3-tech that can rush the passer. That's where I'm at. Or I'm gonna go fucking homer and say Mansour Delane, match him up with DJ Turner, and you got a fucking no-fly zone.
Yeah.
With Zach in the slot, Mansour
always,
Delane, yes.
Yeah. Like,
sorry, Dustin, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because like the Bengals had their eyes on Gibbs a couple of years ago, and everybody at that time would be like, "Damn, that's a horrible pick."
I know.
And like, yeah, and he, you know what I mean? Like he's made a big impact. So I feel like that's gonna happen with Jeremiah Love. Someone's gonna take him high. People are like, "Oh, that's too hard to take a running back," and then he's gonna fucking blow up. And
I know James Cook was second round, but look at James Cook. Like he is the biggest part of that Buffalo offense. Maybe not the biggest, but just as big. Just as integral to the success of that offense, if not more than Josh Allen this year for Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you look at BPA, like hindsight too, was like how awesome would have been if like BPA and we had like Emeka Ibuka on the Bengals as a slot receiver this year. Like how cool would that been? You know what I mean?
Jeremiah Love can turn out to be the best running back in the history of the NFL, and I'll still think that we need to take a defensive tackle in the first round if we got a top 10 pick. That's not going to change.
Or a safety or a linebacker. Just best defensive player available. An edge.
That means you're taking Peter Woods, dude.
That's fine.
Like, I'm in on Peter Woods, so but like
I am too. But man, Twitter, I can tell you right now, Twitter is not going to like Peter Woods, and I think this is why people I mock that and people get mad at it. And sorry, but you're wrong in my opinion, because he gets a lot of pressure, and he had 3 sacks last year, 2.5, whatever it was this year. That's different than an edge player, guys. The most any D tackle has is usually 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. That's the highest.
Yeah.
You have edge players that get you 10, 12, 14. You know what I mean? Like it's different when Shamar Stewart has 2.5 than when a guy like Peter Woods on the interior. And I'm not saying Peter Woods had a great season. It wasn't as good as his season before. But this is a guy who's also a true junior, still young. I love his feet. I love his hands. Like I think he's going to be really, really disruptive from the interior and would make a huge difference on any team, let alone the Bengals. I think he's a good player. So I understand why people are like, oh, this, that, and we're talking producing, but I'm telling you, the best defensive tackles have 5 or 6 sacks.
Yeah.
The best. It's different than Shamar Stewart because he plays D tackle. There's more to it. He has over a 10% stop rate as a run defender. Like that is very important too for the success when you got a guy that can do both on the interior D line. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, exactly. So, question for the end of the year though, would you try to just play Shamar Stewart more at 3-tech? Because you have Osiah Murphy. Let's say that we resign them. And then we go and hit a defensive tackle in the draft, right? And then Shamar, because I know that they were doing a lot of that. Would you just kind of throw him in there at 3-tech, not every play, but a lot of the plays, just to kind of see if that's a package we could utilize next year?
I mean, I think you might have to, but the only thing is going to be if you do lose Osai and Henderson, you're probably looking at Murphy and Stewart as your starters.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've got to, if you lose Osai, and see, that's the thing. Edge could very well jump right up the board back to what we need in the first round yet again.
I don't think Osai has done enough to really get now it's free agency. Anybody's
agent. It's the agent. I agree. He hasn't done enough to get that max contract, but that's what his agent is going to push for. Although I have heard ramblings that maybe he's thinking about moving on from the agent, but I fucking doubt it.
Well, I also think the way that contract's evolved a little bit with Watson, that the agent might have taken a little bit of a humble pie too, because he come in and try to make a flash. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Bengals got a deal done with him. Maybe they're on better terms now. I'm not as concerned about that because it's not this quarterback contract that's $200 million guaranteed. I still think they can get deals done with them. So
we'll see. I mean, I don't disagree, but I need it for the right price. He also hasn't shown enough to me. You guys watch it with a different eye, so you can see what potential he's got. But I haven't seen enough to warrant some kind of huge big contract.
Yeah, it's tough because like I was like hoping to see a little more pop from Cedric Johnson too, and it's kind of like he's fizzled out the last like couple games as well. So it's like I don't know. I almost like feel like out of necessity, it might be a good dude just like throw another 1-year deal at. I don't know.
And if not, you better like. I mean, it's not the best example in the world because the Bills' defense still isn't great, but I don't think D line's as big a problem as it was for them last year. They just tossed as many pieces as possible. Free agency, draft. You draft multiple guys, like you just got to hammer it. You got to get bodies in here. You got to get at least, fringe starting caliber guys. And you need to do it in free agency because you need to hammer as many pieces as you can so you can take a best player available. You know what? Let's say you're picking at 12 and Jeremiah Love is the clear best player available. He's number 1 on my board overall right now. So, for me, good chance he's best player available if he's there. That you would feel more comfortable taking that. Let's say they brought in at least 1 or 2 linebackers, a Leo Chanel, or whatever, a Quay Walker, something at linebacker there. Bring in a D tackle or 2, an edge or 2. Maybe it's Osai and another guy. They bring in a free agent safety. Maybe it's a Lohi Gilman who's looked really good for the Ravens, which once again, guys making plays against us. The Ravens went out and added them for not a lot on the trade market. Gilman, Draymond Jones, you got to constantly be doing this stuff as a team. You can't just, the draft's over. The season started. We're not going to worry about anything. You got to constantly be improving your roster if you want to win.
That's what's like what part of the year did the front office just give up on the season? Because it was like there was opportunities there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then they revamped it, tried to get Flacco, and they did, and then gave up again, I think.
Yeah, like just not addressing the safety at all at any point. Like you had the chance during the season, Duggar. That's the thing in free agency. Like I know, Dale, you went through the list already. Guys will get released, come available. It's not a great list right now, so you're probably not going to get I don't think like the fans' expectations going into free agency. There's not going to be any dudes that really but you just need solid guys.
Yeah, and you don't even need that. We know the Bengals wouldn't spend in that tier anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like you're always looking at kind of that second level, but go in the second level, invest in the second level. Don't wait till the third and fourth level. That's where you brought in TJ Slayton and Oren Burks. That's all you did to a defense that was one of the worst in the NFL. That's all you did in free agency. You can't do that. You can't do that and expect to change your defense in any way.
I wouldn't mind throwing a bag at Tyler Lindenbaum though. I know that's on offense. I would throw him a bag. Just to get him off the Ravens, I would throw him a bag. If you got this money to spend, throw one bag out there, get impactful players, get your fans excited, and then go get some solid dudes, and then you can go to the draft, like you said, and keep your board open.
I don't think Tyler Lindenbaum is going to excite the fan base as much as you guys, because I don't think that it's not a flashy position, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't know. This fan base knows, but I think Ted's still been good enough, at center for us.
Plus, we got Seth McLaughlin and Matt Lee.
If we ever see what I thought they would have called Seth up at some point, Yeah, and that's the stuff that I wouldn't mind seeing still at the end of the year. Shaka Hayward, I'm still begging to give him his shot.
Yeah,
some of those Barrett Carter snaps.
I mean, you were out of it, so put the fuckers in there and let's see what they got before the end of the season.
Yeah, that's why.
Can we see Tyson Anderson over Geno Stone at minimum?
It's going to be better ball too because you put these guys in to see what they got for the end of the season. They're going to play fucking hard. They're going to play fucking hard these last 3 games because they know that they're being judged on these last games and they don't get time.
That's almost how people what do they call it? Silent quit a job. It's did the Bengals just silent tank because they even moved off a Stone? It was we suck. We need to get a high pick.
Michigan's kind of in a shit show for a coach. I think Zach Taylor, he's a Big Ten guy. I think they should go after Zach Taylor.
There you go.
Michigan Wolverines need Zach Taylor. This is
I would not. Zach if I Taylor, were you, I wouldn't ask for that.
Zach Taylor took a team to the Super Bowl. You need Zach Taylor, Michigan.
He'll be, you know what? He'll go there and be the best college coach in the history of fucking Michigan, and he'll whip your ass every year for the next 20 years.
He'll be off my Bengals at least. He'd be off my Bengals at least.
Okay, all right.
So there's a little bit of a tie to this because Rick Minter used to coach at UC. Would Minter, Jesse Minter, be on your list as a guy you would look at?
For the Bengals?
Yeah, head coach.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got that, like that voice that we're talking about, though.
And our current coach also used to work for UC.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bearcats, Sorsby's transferring. He said he's hitting the portal. He may still look at going into the draft, so he's keeping his options open there. But, hey, Zach Taylor could go back and be the head coach. He could just stay in Cincinnati. Family wouldn't even have to locate. I think the Bearcats need to offer him a bag.
There you go.
Get him.
I mean, I'm willing to do whatever we got to do here.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe even Zach will be like, oh, man, this sucks. I'm tired of being here dealing with these people.
Hey, here's an idea. Like, I heard that the number one guy, the odds-on favorite to get the Michigan job is the coach from Alabama. So if that would happen, Zach Taylor can go to Alabama.
He's staying.
Fuck. Well, he could win.
He's parlayed it into probably getting an extension, like most of these guys do. That's what everybody did with the Penn State job.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can go to Tulane. They're still looking right.
I don't know. I don't think so. They probably hired somebody, honestly.
Memphis.
Crazy coaching carousel this year. And a lot of these hires are probably going to be gone in like 2 or 3 years. I don't see Matt Campbell working at Penn State at all.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think he'll be decent. I don't think he's an upgrade over Franklin. He's not as
he's
good.
He's gonna have to bring like so many players.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a recruiting class, basically.
And that's the thing. Franklin actually was a good recruiter. Like Penn State's produced some like really impactful players in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Well, Chop, some more guys hit the portal, which is relevant to LSU. So you got Aiden Childs from Michigan State, Dylan Raiola, Patrick Mahomes Jr. hit the portal, and DJ Lagway from Florida. That's the one that I've already seen LSU connected to Lagway. Now, he has been inaccurate, but the potential has always been there for this team.
Also, the quarterback from Michigan. What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, you're thinking
he was committed to LSU.
Underwood, Bryce Underwood.
And then flipped because they fucking boosters put $12 million in his lap.
Well, this is the thing that we got to consider these days, Chop. Contractual obligations,
Sure.
He may not be able to transfer.
Well, that's because, I got to tell you, when LSU says they're going to put $30 million in NIL, they could probably pay for that contractual obligation.
Well, did you guys see that USC was posting like players re-signing with the team?
Wayman Jordan, the running back.
Unbelievable. I don't know. This is a broader conversation, but it worries me about players coming in the NFL because I think we're already seeing the lack of like blue chip talent over the last couple of years. Like, I mean, if you go through the first round this year, like I know we talked about drafting all these players, but like none of these dudes have really done much. Like, like Ibuka's probably been the best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It worries me about like the hunger and the desire to want to come play ball after you already like made like $10 to $15 million. You know what I mean? I know like a lot of guys aren't making that money, but still, it's like you give a 21-year-old like a couple million in their bank account. Like, how driven are they going to be at the next level? So, but
ones that love ball. I mean, because you got to think like once you've hit the NFL, like your second contract, you've still got to find those guys, because they got paid if they were a high pick and different things. But yeah, I mean, it is something that teams will have to probably source through even more to find,
Yeah. And
which is why you need more scouts. You need to go to games. It all goes hand in hand.
One story I want to share with you guys. It was funny. I was at the airport and I was talking to this random dude. He was based out of Arizona and he actually works with the Bengals. He's like an outscore scouting. And I'm sure teams use this across the league, but I kind of found that interesting. He's like, oh yeah, the Bengals are one of our biggest clients. So like the Bengals will outsource some of their scouting in like all these different regions, I think. So it's like if you're going to outsource and pay people to do it, just put a scout in that region. You know what I mean? But,
yeah. And how much do they really care to really help your team if they're not really employed by it on a full-time basis?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying like, obviously if you're making money to do this, oh, here's my opinion, but are you really going to be like, go that extra mile as you should when you're drafting these players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you building the relationships? Or are you just providing? That's the question I should have asked. I should have dug a little bit deeper just to see if like they're writing up the reports. Or are they doing like analysis? Or are they talking to coaches? I didn't get to that level, but I found it interesting. It was just like so random, you know?
All right, boys. Bengals still suck. We're going to end this one. We'll be back on Friday. Probably talk a little more college football, honestly. Because just what's the point?
Yep.
You know? I mean, what's the point?
I'll make a higher Dale shirt too.
There you go. Fire Duke Tobin. Hire Dale Altman.
On the back, it'll say hire Dale Altman.
There
And
you
then,
go.
Tobin on the front, on the back, say hire Dale Altman.
then we talk to Dale 5 years from now, and he's part of the family.
Right. We'll be 10 years from now. Doesn't mean you'll be doing Bengals and Brews like fire Dale Altman.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fire Dale Altman.
I'll be walking around going,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm fucking Katie and Troy. We're having threesomes.
Uh-huh.
You're like, yeah, they like to party, dude. That's why they're not like all their money goes to that. So,
Yeah, we're all out of our minds.
Get down.
oh man.
All right, man.
All right,
Well,
boys.
we'll be back on Friday.